Yo guys, what's up and welcome to my 7th episode of my Fortnite Noob to Pro series. We already went over some building basics before in episode 3, and in this episode I would like to go over 90s. What they are, how to perform them, why they are so important, so let's get started. Alright, so what exactly are 90s? Well, 90s are basically just the fastest way of building up in Fortnite. So you can of course build up with a ramp. But if someone does 90s, like this for example, he will go up faster than if you just normally build up with a ramp. And they are called 90s because you just basically use your builds to make a 90-degree turn and get up. So basically you just rotate 90 degrees and go up. Either to the right, which is most common, but it's also possible to the left. 90s can be quite difficult to learn and really tricky to master. Especially if you just want to do them fluently with no mistakes. So if you're not a great builder, just try to at least practice them and, you know, be able to do them instead of just doing them flawlessly. But if you want to become really good at Fortnite, a really good builder, and especially in certain build fights, in certain situations, you just have to be able to do 90s really fast. Right, so how do you perform them? Well, first of all, there's no best way. Some people do them to the left, some people do them to the right, some people build a wall here first, some people build a wall here first, some people rotate them this way, some people rotate them... There's just a lot of ways of doing the 90s, and there's no fastest or the best way. If you do them correctly, they should all be just as fast. So there is no like fast 90, they're just the same speed, guys. So just pick one variation you like, or maybe two, or even three, but just get really good with one particular 90, which you just use in your normal gameplay. So get in creative, playground, whatever, and just practice your 90s. I will go over this one, which is probably the most standard one, and explain how to really do it. All right, so let me go ahead and explain you guys how to do this standard 90, all right? So what you want to do, you want to stand at the left side of your ramp, build your ramp, go up, place a wall in front of the ramp, place a wall above, to the right, and below. So basically, a ramp, and you just rotate your walls. So ramp, you rotate your walls, right? If you hold your mouse kind of like here, you can perform it really quickly. This rotation, all right? So ramp and the walls. Next step, once you're facing here, you want to jump, look more down, and place a floor and a ramp pretty much at the same time. So go up, wall, jump, floor, ramp. Right? It will look like this. You can do it slowly if it's difficult for you at start. It can maybe look a little bit, you know, rusty in the beginning. Don't know how to do it. If it's too fast, you know, just practice this. And keep practicing until you're able to do it like really fast. Alright, so once you get the hang of that, this basically, which is 190, you go up and you do one more. You go up, you do one more. You go up and just practice doing 190. So you can really do this with no mistakes, pretty much. Alright, so once you get the hang of that, try to do 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so this might be very difficult for you already if you're not a great builder, but let's go over to 390s. And 390s is pretty much the maximum you should do. You can do 4, but you have jump fatigue, and because of jump fatigue, your jumps will be a lot slower, which will make it pretty much impossible to do 90s. You can do infinite 90s. You can also walk through your 90s instead of jumping, so you can do them infinitely. But for this video, we'll just go over the standard 90s, which are just 3 really fast 90s. And that's really what you have to be able to do. So, same thing actually as with the 290s, but this time you just perform 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, let's go over 2 common mistakes when doing 90s. First one is this one, which is placing a floor above you. You lose a lot of time, of course, if you place a floor above you. And this basically just happens because you don't time it right, you place it too late, or you don't look down enough. So, kind of want to jump at this moment and look down, place your floor and ramp. So we're going up, you're at this position, you look down, you place your floor and ramp. So every time you look down, pretty much, you look down, down, down. If you don't, you will find yourself placing this floor above you, which you don't want, of course. Mistake number 2 is people placing a ramp above their head. So Harry Pottering, as they call it, because Harry Potter lived under a basement. So basically this is just kind of like this. You place the ramp above yourself and you're kind of stuck here. So you have to edit down and do something creative to get out of there. And this happens because of movement and positioning. So you kind of want to stand to the left of your ramp and then go up. Because if you stand too far to the right, like this, you will find yourself placing that ramp above you. So if you stand to the left, it will not happen. But there is one mistake, which is if you stand too far to the left, you will actually lose a lot of speed. So now let's go over how to make your 90s as fast as possible. Alright, so now let's go over how to make your 90s faster and flawless. And this is where they become really tricky, because I just said you have to stand at the left here to prevent Harry Pottering yourself. You have to look down as well to place that floor above and not, I mean below and not above yourself. But if you stand too far to the left, you actually lose momentum, you lose speed, because every time you're up here and you touch this wall left of you, you lose momentum, you lose speed. So if you do your 90s like this, where I'm hugging this wall, I lose a lot of speed. I lost so much speed, I even failed my last 90 there. So you kind of want to stay here when you go up and not touch this wall. And it comes down to a lot of practice and know your positioning. So you want to stay away from that wall there. But if you touch it, now you see me touching it, I lose a lot of speed. Not a huge difference, but it can actually make the difference. Alright, so let's go over this one more time. So basically you're just standing here at the left, go up, wall, 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 you jump, floor ramp, go up again, you try to not hit this wall, you go up again, you do the same thing, you try not to hit this wall, you go up again, same thing, you try not to hit this wall. Basically like this. Right, then there's a lot of different variations to these 90s. Let me just go over a few real quick. Some people like to go place a wall here, here, left, in the middle, jump, same thing here, 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 here. Some people like to actually make a rotation like this. So the other way around pretty much. You can also combine them and start like this, then rotate it completely. Okay, let me do that one more time. So you go right, you jump, other way around. It looks a little bit more flashy than this standard one maybe, but if done correctly, they are exactly the same speed. Then you have the Metro 90s, which are just a wall, wall up, floor ramp, wall, wall, floor ramp. Alright, so with this video you should be able to learn how to do the 90s correctly. But remember, they are really tricky. If someone does them, they probably seem very easy. But if you're new to 90s, they will be very difficult to learn, and especially difficult to master and do them correctly with no mistakes, which is what you eventually want to do. You want to be in a normal game and just do your 90s when you want to go up. So remember, 90s are the fastest way of building up. You have a lot of different variations, but they are all the same speed. So just pick a situation. Probably the first one I show you, the easiest one, the standard one. It's just as fast as the flashy ones. And getting creative, get into playground, and just practice them. You will probably have to practice it for a few hours if you really want to do them well. So I would just suggest practicing them for like 15-20 minutes, a few times a week maybe, until you can really do them well. It will take you maybe a few weeks, depending on, you know, your skill and how fast you pick up things. But eventually they will really help you become a better player. Alright, that's it for this video, guys, on 90s. I hope it was helpful. I hope you can be very good at doing your 90s and just practice, like I already said. So if you like the video, hit that like button down there. If you have any questions, just ask them in the comment section, and you can check me out on my Twitch. There's the link, twitch.tv/BladLeaf. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in episode 8, and woo, goodbye.